That's Matt Yetter with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Friday, May 19th, 2023. The address we're inspecting today is 1485 Northeast 54th Avenue, Hillsboro, Oregon, 97124. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the front yard exterior cleanout. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras in the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, it should be noted some of sewer pipes made of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and Orangeburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspection must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron, ABS 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We are in 3-inch ABS plastic drain piping. We are running some water from the bathroom sink to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. Pipe shows no recent signs of blockage, buildup, or backup. A little bit of marginal pitch through this area. You can see just a little bit flat. Pretty minor. And then it looks like we do get back into a downhill pitch pretty quickly. Once we reach the lateral, we'll be curious to look at that area again and see how it drains. If you turn off the water and everything drains out of there, then you're feeling pretty good about things still. At 30 feet, we have a little bit of a belly. So this is right in the front yard here. Camera head goes underwater at 31 feet. And then we pop out of it pretty quick, but there is about a foot and a half belly. And we're going to transition. So this signifies a few things. This signifies transitioning pipe size. So we're going from 3-inch pipe into 4-inch pipe. Signifies transitioning pipe materials. And then lastly, we're transitioning into a branch off the city lateral piping. And even though we enter into city lateral piping here, technically all of this will be buyer owner responsibility throughout the entire length, start to finish. There's also some marginal pitch here. So the camera head at 37 feet goes underwater again. This one is completely submerged. Big wads of toilet paper is not helping the cause any. So we're going to run some tests on it. Once we reach the lateral, we'll drain everything out of the pipe, and we'll evaluate again. And again, what we're looking for is when we turn off the water, does everything go ahead and drain on out of there? Probably without that big ball of toilet paper in there, or baby wipe, or whatever that was. Probably drains quite a bit better. We're going to transition back to a plastic piping. So we had ABS plastic, and then we went cast iron, and then we went PVC. We're going to reach the lateral around 63 feet. So we're going to turn off the water. We're going to run some tests on the thing now. A couple areas of marginal pitch and maybe even minor water belly. But we want to see how the area reacts with the water off. So I'm going to turn off the microphone, pause the video, and then look at those areas again. Okay, we have drained the water out of the line, and this will be kind of our determining factor. how did everything drain with the water off. Yeah, like I said, it is a drain pipe, so we need it to everything to kind of go downhill and just continue to empty itself out. So that's the final test that we do on the end, is turn off the water, wait for a couple of minutes, and then let's see how it reacts with the water off. So there's a section of older piping in here too. You almost need to go into this knowing that because of the older metal piping in the Northwest soil, probably the metal piping should be considered a deferred cost item. This will probably need some updating. I'm not sure why that's here in between two modern plastic piping materials. But this section we would recommend having a sewer scope performed periodically, just keeping an eye on things. And then, like I said, there's big wads of toilet paper down in the line. Maybe that could be flushed out at some point. That's not helping any drainage concerns. But for the most part, you know, it looks like we're getting good news that for the most part, with the water off, just about everything is drained on out. At least the cast iron one looked okay. So here, this was a little bit of marginal pitch with the water off again. Pretty good news, actually. It was pretty full when we came the first time. You can see the water level does rise when water's running, but that's pretty minor with the water off. So I think that's probably pretty good news. Nice smooth transitions there. Like I said, this cast iron piping will probably need some attention at some point in the future, but everything did drain out of here, even despite the big ball. So yeah, pretty good news. This was the one area in question, I think. Well, there was a marginal pitch, and then this was the area where we actually the camera head went underwater. But you can see that's at the bottom of a dive, and most of it did go ahead and drain on out of there. So again, feeling better about things at this point. It does look like, even though it's slow in some areas, the drain pipe is actually draining. So if you take a snapshot of the property currently today, the pipe appears to be in working condition. It has some slow areas, but it did eventually drain out of there. So the drain pipe is still draining, so I would say it passes inspection today. But we would recommend having a sewer scope every two years, keeping an eye on things. If conditions ever worsen, if the pipe ever slopes anymore and the water belly gets more substantial, it gets more significant, then of course some repairs could be required. And then also there's that section of cast iron piping, the metal piping, and that may need some attention in the future. And I'll keep my fingers crossed it just keeps on going and going. But there are a couple areas in this line that really should be monitored, and then of course repair and or replace as needed by a licensed and qualified drain repair specialist. But if you take a snapshot of the property currently today, right now the pipe does appear to be working. It did drain and passes inspection.